And just like that, we are down to the final episode of Robot Madness. 16 robots remain, and after today we'll have the grand champion left to crown. Let's just get right into the action here. Atomic Green taking on Zinger, Behemoth taking on Buckeye, Buzzkill taking on Sad Octopus, Seizure taking on Jab, Ocean Man taking on Aquatic Disaster, Business Tombstone versus Red Shield, Snowblind taking on Standalone, and Osprey taking on Warbird X. This is going to be an insane episode. Hopefully a ton of great matches to end it all, but let's just get into this. Starting off here with Atomic Green, of course, a little bit of troubles against El Dominador in the last match, but in the end, they stayed the course incredibly well, and they did pretty much exactly what they needed to do to get the W. It's definitely going to be a tougher match here, though. Zinger is probably the most well-rounded opponent that they have fought, but they do definitely have experience on their side. But getting to Zinger, unfortunately, there's no other musical clips this time, I'm sorry. But Zinger, absolutely doing amazing so far. They had maybe a tiny bit of luck in the fight against Havoc, but they still have proven to be a very capable lifter with a ton of control, and they're doing pretty much everything right so far in this tournament. But let's see how they can fare here, because this is definitely the toughest matchup they're going to have so far. And the fight is underway, and immediately we're seeing Atomic getting underneath on that first little engagement there. We'll see which of these lifters can force the issue more and get in more attacks. But right now, seems like the low ground is in Atomic Green's favor. But this is a good attack here from Zinger, getting them near his back near his screws. That's a good attack there, but not able to get much in there, trying to just make sure the lifters are working. That's a good attack there, but flipped by that recoil on the self right there for Atomic Green. And now some low ground there from Zinger, so not a complete wash on the ground game here. It seems like this is going to be quite an even tussle between these two, and there's a good attack there from Zinger, getting around to the back. It's really going to come down to which of these robots can outdrive the opponent, because they're quite similar in their weaponry and what they kind of can accomplish. They're both pretty capable in the drive, but Atomic Green seems a little bit more controlled as of right now. Zinger, a little bit more sporadic, but in the end, it might not matter if Zinger can just get a very good flip to end this match. But right now, some more good pushes in here from Atomic Green. I think they're doing a pretty good job. They like to stay their course and be pretty cautious and patient with their maneuvers, and I think that's what they're doing right now. Zinger does really have to try to find an opening here soon, because there's been definitely more positive moments thus far for Atomic Green compared to Zinger, but it only takes one flip. But there's a good flip there from Atomic Green, showing the power that is in that weaponry. And it looks like Zinger able to easily get back over, though, so it does not phase him for long. But those are good points in the eyes of the judges for this Atomic Green machine. And there's a good attack there once again from Zinger. Very even so far, all things considered. Both robots getting a lot of good moments, and there's a nice little lift up there from Zinger's flipper. Not able to do a whole lot with it, though. It's very tense, very fast-paced, but also very controlling, very conservative in how each of them are using their weaponry. It's going to be interesting to see which of these robots can make the decisive move to get on top, and that's a good push there from Atomic Green, getting them back and pushing them back near that wall, hoping to find something to end this match. But so far, it's definitely been still quite even. You have to watch out for that pit, but this is a good attack here from Zinger. Can they get Atomic Green in that pit or do something? But there's a good push and flipped into the pit. Is Zinger. It looked like they were knocked out on their head. They're still going to do the count out here, though, because they aren't fully in the pit. But this is as good as over. Atomic Green is going to take this victory. Well, that was a very good fight. Very good first fight to start this off. Pretty even in a lot of aspects. They definitely both kind of took their moments to get under and try to get in a few good lifts. Atomic Green, though, definitely had the better lifts overall, though. They had a lot more attacks where it felt like they were the ones in control and they were the ones actually getting some full flips. Zinger had their good moments, but in the end, it was not enough really to force something that put Atomic Green in a lot of danger, because a lot of their pushes just didn't lead anywhere. But for Atomic Green, matter of time until they eventually got Zinger in that pit, and Atomic Green is going to be one win away now from making the Final Four. So, very solid victory for them. Very fun fight that was. And so, in the top left corner, we've got our answer there. Atomic Green advances. But now we get to one that is going to be very interesting. So, we have Behemoth, who they've kind of been sleepwalking here, in all honesty. They fought Jaws and Enforcer. Jaws, of which a 15 seed, and Enforcer, a robot that they've already beaten twice in their career. So they haven't really been challenged as much as some of these other robots definitely, I would say. And the one downside they're going to have here is that they still have the paper armor, almost completely paper armor, except for little plastic wings on the side. And we saw what Buckeye can do, absolutely destroying all of the hopes that Metal Siege had in the last round. 2-hit knockout, knocking off sides, knocking off parts. This is going to be a tough matchup for Behemoth here. Buckeye definitely the favorite coming into this one. Major impressions that they have left in their 2 fights. Very quick, very decisive. We'll have to see how they can do if they're just stuck in a bit of a longer tussle, but this is definitely a fight that they've beat a flipper before, and we'll have to see if they can do it again. We'll see how Behemoth can respond here. This is their toughest matchup, but from an initial look, that was actually a pretty good deflection here from Behemoth, and again, we'll have to see how that armor holds up, though, because that is the one downside for Behemoth majorly. That was a big shot there from Buckeye, spinning around Behemoth and launching them back. And there's another one, and looks like they the hit knocked up the pit a little bit. There's a good shot there once again from Buckeye, but so far nothing too extreme that we're used to seeing. And that was a good deflection there from Behemoth, hitting Buckeye onto these screws. And Behemoth might have a decent strategy here if they can just keep barraging and hope that they can hold up long enough to possibly knock out Buckeye. Then they've got a chance here, but Buckeye's still letting some major shots in, and it might only be a matter of time until the big shot comes that does a lot of damage to Behemoth, because we have seen this bout of a lot of drive issues, and maybe now, nope, seem to be fine. Definitely a little bit stunned there after that good barrage here from Buckeye. There's a few more good shots. Not the major big shots that we've seen from Buckeye before in this tournament, but so far Behemoth is doing overall pretty good, and they've got a few shots on the back to try to get a flip, but they could not get Buckeye fully up and over. Buckeye still seems fairly well grounded. It's pretty even here, but that spinner's doing quite well in terms of getting good engagement. Buckeye is a bit cautious here, a bit more cautious than the last few fights, but they're like, good shot. That was a big shot there from Buckeye, but Behemoth is pushing them back, and Buckeye's on the edge of the pit, and they might go in, and Behemoth is going to win. Well, that was definitely somewhat unexpected. Behemoth there, it's been quite a long time since the bot has actually had a good run in a tournament, but dang, they are making a real big statement here, taking on one of the biggest spinners in the tournament. We had questions about their armor, about how they would hold up with no real plastic, just the old card paper armor, but it held up amazingly well for what it is, but they did take some big shots and definitely took a little bit of damage on that scoop, but they stayed the course, and they had a very solid strategy of just getting good ramps and just hoping to eventually wear down that spinner and that drive, and eventually Buckeye was out of commission. That was an insane victory there. Behemoth definitely showing that they still have a lot of gas left in the tank. Definite, very, very dominant, very solid, maybe not dominant, but good win for them there. They've needed that. But they're going to have to take on Atomic Green the next round for a spot. If Behemoth can win that, though, then I think a lot of recent stereotypes about this robot and it being kind of washed are going to be gone, but we'll have to see what happens there because Atomic Green's a tough bot. But now we go to another surprising robot. In this, we have Buzzkill. Buzzkill, they've won 2 fights and they've both done decently well. They completely destroyed Complete Control. They shattered that lifter and showed the power that that spinner has. And then in the Yugoslav Yeeter fight, they needed a little bit of help to get the bite that they needed to, but in the end, they did what they needed to do, and in competitions like this, that's really all you can ask for, because there's going to be a lot of close, contentious moments. But then we go to a bot that said, nothing but domination. That's Sad Octopus, decapitating the weapons of both Topbot and Steve, just launching those weapons off after only a few hits. They are showing to be insanely effective here. They definitely have an advantage over Buzzkill probably in that they can get bite under where that weapon is. But Buzzkill has shown, if Buzzkill has shown anything, it's that this thing is not going down without a fight. So this should be a very, very fun matchup here. We're underway. And ooh, already a big shot in Buzzkill taking a spin. They like to do that a lot. Kind of some weird gyro-ish action here. But so far, let's see which of these spinners can get the better engagement. There's a few good pushes there from Sad Octopus, but Buzzkill getting some good shots in the back, and there they go again. That saw, you would expect it to get that good a fight, but it's very good at getting into little nooks and crannies of a lot of robots and just launch them on the way, and there's some more good shots here. Arguably, Buzzkill getting a bit more of the better engagement so far onto Sad Octopus. Sad Octopus trying to get more moments here, but both robots off to very promising starts here, both showing the power that those spinners have. Some very fun sounds coming from Buzzkill too, those loud grinding noises. What you want to see, and that was another big shot there from Buzzkill. Buzzkill very much showing pressure so far. Sad Octopus gonna have to do something to actually respond, because it feels like Buzzkill is showing a lot of initiative early, but Sad Octopus is still a very powerful weapon, so if they did get a good moment, then this match could turn into an instant. But so far, good showing for Buzzkill, but flipped on their head by a shot from Sad Octopus, and it looks like this might be the end of the road for them, and it looks like that's definitely what it seems to be right now. Very, very strong performance for Buzzkill in this tournament. Nothing but respect to them. But Sad Octopus just a little bit stronger. It seems like their weapon actually collapsed there at the end there. It's a little bit interesting. We have not seen that yet before. But Buzzkill, absolutely nothing but the best for them. They had a great tournament this time, and they really were doing quite well in this fight too. They're getting a lot of good fights. Even after when Sakura was kind of getting good position to get hits, they did very well. But gotta talk voices about Sad Octopus here. Just a perfect shot. It's not easy to get flips like that at times, but they had a good lineup. Buzzkill came in a little bit too chaotically there, and Sad Octopus is going to pick up this win. They got the shot they needed, and they're only one win away from the Final Four and essentially gaining immortality, I guess, in this tournament. But we'll have to see what happens there. We go to our next fight, and this one's going to be interesting. We have Seizure, who they've dominated so far in this tournament. They completely destroyed Electric Boogaloo's hopes, and then they just punted Shredderator around. But this is a tough matchup for them in Jab, but they do have a new config with forks that they have for this match, which definitely could give them an opening here. They finally were able to break it out for this tournament, but let's see how it can do here, because Jab, if there's one thing that it is the ultimate horizontal killer with that massive wedge. They completely destroyed Blindside's hopes, and then had a very close but very fun match with Ramplant. But if Jab can stay and keep the low ground, then there's not going to be much that Seizure is going to be able to do here. But we'll have to see how those new forks can act here. But Jab, if they can win this, they have a very, very good shot at going pretty far in this competition. If they can possibly get a spot in the quarterfinals, that's a big stretch for what has been a normally pretty middle-of-the-road robot. But the fight is underway, and both the robots getting instant engagement here, and it looks like those forks on... Ooh, there's a big shot there, but those are the new forks that we're seeing on Seizure. We'll see how those forks can adapt, but now here's a good ground game moment here for Jab. Jab showing that they are a wedge, and a lot of times we get paid on the wedges for being boring, but this is no boring robot. Jab is showing a lot of courage here, a lot of initiative here to batter and beat this robot that has been pretty much unstoppable thus far. So I do very much like this fork config, though, for Seizure. It seems to be working decently well, but they are having some trouble getting some engagement there. But there's a good shot on the backside there of Jab. We'll see if Jab can keep this relentless assault up, or if damage could eventually begin to take a toll. But so far, this is firmly in Jab's camp so far, and Seizure really has to look for an opening and try to find something that can sway this. But Jab close to the pit. Watch out there, bud. Ooh, 2 wheels over the pit. Barely able to escape. Gotta be careful for that pit. They could really sneak up on you when you don't expect it. But so far, Jab continuing their good assault of just punishing Seizure. Seizure, though, getting some good shots on the side there. That was a good little attack there. But definitely not in Seizure's favor thus far. But any moment could swing this. It's like Jab getting some nice spots, trying to maybe jam up the back with those spikes. Not 100% sure how effective that's going to be, but it seems like still seems pretty much on the same course, although it looks like Jab maybe having a few drive issues here. Ooh! And a big shot there to the backside of Jab from that spinner. I think Jab seems to be having several issues right now, but there's a good attack there, and it seems like Jab, they're still maintaining their course quite well here, and I think they're still doing what they need to do, but it seems like Seizure has now powered down the weapon to try to get some more attacks in on the back. See if there's any damage to those back wheels, maybe? It doesn't seem like it. Not exactly sure what's been going on with Jab, but I still feel like Jab has a solid, sizable lead here right now, but there's a good push to the pit, and that is going to be the fight, most likely. Seizure slowing down their weapon to gain a bit more control with those forks, and that's going to be the fight. Wow. It was looking like it was going to be a victory for Jab there for a little while. Those forks were not doing too much of anything, but it also might have just been the power from that spinner kind of jostling those forks up and down. And I think eventually when Seizure realized that they might be better off without that spinner on, they were able to play pretty strategically and come back. But Jab, very respectable performance. I mean, they've fought pretty much 2 horizontals back to back, and they both did very well against them, and they're 2 very good horizontals in that too. But Seizure, they had a scare for quite a bit there, but in the end, they gain their composure and manages to escape a very close fight with Jab. Lots of respect to Jab there. Jab did a fantastic job in that match, but unfortunately, not enough to take down Seizure. Seizure is going to win this, and they'll have a very fun matchup with Sad Octopus in the next round. But now we march on to the other side of the bracket where we have the War of the Water. This one is going to be very fun. We have Ultimate Bots and Aquatic Disaster taking on, of course, the Vet and Ocean Man. Ocean Man taking on two robots that I wouldn't say are, like, particularly amazing. Double Decker Death and Killer Crab certainly aren't the sports cars of Robot Madness, Robot Chaos, but, you know, it's still, in the end, they proved that they still have a lot of power in that spinner, and they'll do what they have to do, although their spinner strength can be a bit lacking if they can't get the right engagement there. But we'll have to see how that goes here. Aquatic Disaster has been very, very promising this tournament. One of the best rookies that we have seen. Taking down the Vet Frostburn and Scorpios in a very dominant match, taking off a lot of panels there and sending him spinning. We'll see if they can get good bite on Ocean Man's weapon here. This is going to be very tough for them, but if this is a chance to get a statement win, then it's going to be absolutely great for them. But let's go down and let's see how this match plays out. Both robots getting ready for the War of the Water, and both robots getting in there, getting their spinners up to speed. See who can get the better engagement here. Ocean Man showing a lot of pressure early on, but Aquatic Disaster not backing away from it and trying to get that weapon in, actually showing their back a little bit. Maybe trying to whip around, but big shot there from Ocean Man, launching Aquatic Disaster up. One of the biggest shots we've seen from them so far this tournament. Major hit there, and Aquatic Disaster, maybe a bit of a scare for them that isn't impeding them right now, but that was a major shot and not what you want to see. If Ocean Man can get that bite in a bad spot, then that's going to be trouble for them. But Aquatic Disaster keeping up a good push here and keeping up pressure on Ocean Man as well. So this is not easy for them both so far. Aquatic Disaster trying to get him more good shots there. Ocean Man trying to get that weapon up to speed to land some more shots. And a big shot there! Flipping over Aquatic Disaster. Ocean Man seems like they're going to be able to take this win. That was a very massive shot. I'm not sure if that was just a bad deflection or if Ocean Man just got a massive shot and with that spinner. But either way, sorry Ultimate, that is the end of Aquatic Disaster. Much credit to them. Great tournament for them. But in the end, Ocean Man just a little bit too strong here. Just using that spinner very effectively, very relentlessly. And that wasn't even, I'm not even sure if that was a hit from the spinner of Ocean Man itself. Might have just been some good use of that wedge. That's the thing. Underrated part of Ocean Man, that wedge. Very good at deflecting opponents. And sometimes, my thing is the spinner. Yeah, that was just the wedge. Just the wedge of Ocean Man. Just punting it. Wow. You know, Ocean Man. So, maybe we still haven't seen much of the spinner's true power. I don't know yet. I guess we'll have to see later. But now, Ocean Man moves on, and we'll see who's going to be able to take him on the next round. But now, we have to go to the next region. Next match. We saw probably the biggest upset of the tournament when Red Shield took down Loki. A massive upset there that definitely changed the way that this bracket was going to play out. And for Red Shield's credit, given to me by Oof, but also an Ultimate Machine, we'll see if this mod of kind of two different influences can make another massive victory here. They've got more armor on the sides, and their wedges have been a bit more reinforced, but we'll have to see how they can do here because this is going to be the biggest spinner they have fought yet in Business Tombstone. No filming buddy today, of course, but you know, I think this title card says absolutely everything you need to know about this bot. The weapon power has been absolutely insane, eviscerated Abomination, completely destroyed Ripper to the point we may never see it again. Well, I mean, you probably wouldn't have seen it together anyway if it just lost normally. But either way, Business Tombstone strong as heck. This is going to be a very fun one. Classic wedge versus big horizontal battle. We'll see which of these two robots can move on to take on Ocean Man. To be quite the run for them either way. And good little deflection there. And already we're seeing, it seems like that sloped back is what Red Shield seems to be trying to go for here. See if they can keep up a good assault. That was a good push there. Ooh, Business Tombstone taking another shot there. So far, seems like Red Shield is holding up quite well to these attacks, but Business Tombstone definitely going to be able to keep up a good attack here. And there goes the side guard. Side guard is off of Red Shield, and now Business Tombstone starting to land some more impressive and effective attacks in here. And there goes the wedge. The wedge is now off of Red Shield. It looks like it broke the mount that wedge was on, and this is going brutally right now. After a pretty solid start from Red Shield, we'll see if they can keep up this attack, try to keep using that back, and oh, there goes the other side panel. All these side panels were glued on before this fight, though, so if you ever download the Shock the Big Business Tombstone, if you for some reason didn't after his first 2 fights, there you go. This thing is quite the powerful little mod for being made in 5 minutes. Anyway, can Red Shield do anything to stop the bleeding here? Because it's been very, very one-sided since the first 10 seconds. But Business Tombstone still, one good push, the pit is open, so Red Shield is not out until things get really bad for them. Business Tombstone has got to stay on their heels a little bit here, knowing that one bad deflection could launch them up, maybe flip them or get them in that pit. But so far, they're doing a pretty good job with their course here, just landing more shots, trying to get to the side, doing some good damage to the body of Red Shield. Red Shield trying to keep up this attack though, but there's some more good shots in here. I think Business Tombstone doing pretty much what they need to do. I mean, they're kind of just landing shots where they can. And it seems like the driver of Red Shield might be in trouble. It seems like they might have stopped moving here now, actually, and they are completely down. Business Tombstone hitting them just to see the side life. That was a big deflection there. I think Red Shield is down. Business Tombstone just going to hold back and take this victory and prepare for their matchup against Ocean Man. Wow. Massive credit, though, for Red Shield. They've had an incredible run in this tournament, taking down probably one of the biggest favorites. But unfortunately, Business Tombstone, a little bit too strong for them. Quite unfortunate, because they were doing pretty admirably in the first part. But eventually, once Business Tombstone started to knock off panels like right there, then the writing was very much on the wall, ripping off that wedge, breaking its mount, and just overall doing a lot of things that were not good for Red Shield. Red Shield, they fought admirably, but in the end, business is business, and they were not ready for that business. Good for Business Tombstone. They move on. The last of the given fan bots is eliminated, which, unfortunate. Thanks everyone for sending robots for this. Very, very fun. But now, we move on to the bot that maybe a bit controversial to get here. I don't know, I'm recording this before that episode comes out, but Mako put Snowblind on the ropes, and they almost actually could have beaten them if it went to a decision, but eliminated with less than 1 second left, just how it goes. But Snowblind, we've seen how they've done before against Whiplash bases, but standalone, always going to be a tough out for them. The Chicken Strip Robotics machine, standalone has proven to be very capable. We have not seen much of them because their last fight was highlighted, but we know what to expect from this machine. Whiplash bases with big wedges. I mean, there's several of them, and they all done very good. But let's see how they can do here. Snowblind, probably the toughest match that they have had so far. Can they take down the one-seeded machine in this bottom region, and already both going in? The main challenge for Snowblind is always getting around them, but they did it there, but weren't able to fully execute a good attack there. We'll see if they can keep up a good assault here. It always depends on how they can get around that wedge, but Snowblind, yep, they're doing exactly what they want to do. It seems like they deviated a little bit from their just overall pushing nose first strategy in their last match, but it seems like right now they're going right back to it here, and it's causing some issues here for Standalone, who has definitely not got the ground game advantage, and they have to try to outflank and get to the sides of Snowblind, which is way easier said than done. Snowblind is the perfect example of, it's pretty easy in theory of how you beat it. Just get to the sides, rip off the wedge, and just flip it once. But no robot has been able to do that effectively in this tournament so far, and it's definitely an uphill battle right now for Standalone. They just can't really get around that front wedge, and you know, you could be driving probably the best you've ever driven, and it'll still be almost impossible to get around to those sides of Snowblind. Snowblind, I mean, they're just doing what they do. There's not much really to say about them here, but Standalone's still trying to get in, and there's a good opportunity there, but could not get them up that wedge. The very annoyingly reliable drive there of this Snowblind machine gives so many problems to these robots, but Standalone definitely not out of this match yet, even though it's not been going their way pretty much at all up to this point. It's still just still just that one flip that someone needs, and they can end this match. And if they can just get a good opening, this match can be over. But Snowblind, it's just so dang well driven. That's the problem with it. You have to basically be driving perfectly to get that opportunity, and right now, Standalone, unfortunately, is not able to do that, and that's definitely costing them in this matchup so far. Even if this goes to a decision, I don't really know what exactly they're going to get from this right now, because nothing is working so far. It's very unfortunate, but there's a good push near the back and not able to get in Standalone. Good attack there, though, from Snowblind. I think that pit might have to be Standalone's last chance here, because all their strategies to try to get around Snowblind have not worked so far, but there's a good push, and on the edge of the pit, I think Snowblind's going to be able to end this here pretty easily. Opening the pit, just go, and tapping them in. Yeah, that's Snowblind for you. Every single time that you might think that they might be able to be stopped, they just do that, and they remind you why they're probably the most winningest hexbug on the planet. Absolute domination there for Snowblind against a robot that I am pretty sure I picked to win the whole competition, actually, in my before we filmed bracket. Massive respect here to Standalone. They've had a very solid tournament run, but Snowblind is just an absolute force, and they did everything they could to try to stop them, but you just couldn't get around side, can't get flips, and Snowblind, they just eat that up for breakfast, and there you go. There's really not much to say. Not much to say about Snowblind just doing what Snowblind does best. You love it or hate it. It's really, really dang good at what it does. But, okay, enough of Snowblind for now. Let's go on to a matchup that should be quite fun. We've got WD Dynamics Osprey taking on Warbird. Osprey has had very, very good performances so far. Showed a lot of power in that weapon when they decapitated Siren and flipped it. And this is going to be interesting, because this is a battle between two... I'm yawning. Sorry, I'm quite tired. But this should be a very fun matchup. Warbird, one of the most impressive robots, I'd say, so far, taking down both Hive Smash and Cyclone, two very good robots. But this is going to be a very tough matchup for them, because there is different configs for Osprey. Osprey does have a horizontal config here that they're definitely going to be running. But this should be a very fun one. These are two robots that I think definitely could give some problems for Snowblind if they advance, but we'll have to see how this goes. This should be a very fun one. Two other different channel robots. Which of these robots can claim the victory here? And we're underway. Both robots spinning up their weapons, getting engaged, but there's a big shot there already. Almost flipping over Osprey, sending them into the screws. Massive shot there I guess from both of them. Seemed like Warbird got a bit of the better of that exchange there. Ooh, but there's a good response there from Osprey, landing a nice shot that clips the wing of Warbird. So this is definitely going to be a very fun back-and-forth matchup it seems so far. Some more good engagement from Warbird. Warbird's had their strategy very refined in these recent tournaments. Just staying slower, but sending some good weapon shots in there, then slowing it down and coming in back for more. But Osprey, they've also just been extremely dominant so far. So this is definitely going to be tough for Warbird in some aspects, as they're a bit stuck near that pit. And some good attacks here from Osprey, pushing Warbird back. We'll see if Warbird can get that weapon back up to speed. Seems like they're waiting a little bit, but now it's back. See who can get some more big shots in here. Very even so far. And what a big collision there. Maybe a bit in Osprey's favor there. See if Osprey can keep up this assault. And there's another good attack there, and that weapon once again slowing down to Warbird. That's where Osprey really has to go, and it takes advantage. Oh, they've lost one of their wedges, though. That is not good for them, but Warbird's stuck on the edge of the pit, and that might be it for them. Osprey getting in and knocking them out. Unfortunate there for Warbird X, but Osprey is going to advance and take on Snowblind in the next round. Very massive hit there to start this out. Just massive collision here, and it just knocked Osprey, and that almost could have eliminated them on the first shot. Look at the crazy flipping and turning it did there. But in the end, they managed to recover and land some more big shots onto Warbird X. Both robots had great showings here, but unfortunately, it was just not in the cards for Warbird X. But great showing for them, definitely, this tournament. They've had two very fun victories, two of the best matches of the tournament so far. But for Osprey, they remain and they march on to the next round. We will see if they can possibly pull off something crazy and manage to take down Snowblind. So just like that, we're down to 8. 8 robots remain in this competition. We have Atomic Green Behemoth, Saloctopus Seizure, Business Tombstone Ocean Man, and Osprey Snowblind. This is going to be very fun. This is a great little region of 8. Some very surprising robots to get far. I mean, this has been a great revival for Behemoth's career. We've seen Business Tombstone just continue to march on and do all businessy things. This is going to be a great quarterfinals that we got coming up next. But right now, we'll be right back. We got some commercials to show. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial break for more Robot Madness.
Are you a robotics nerd that loves Hexbug Battle Fights but think the fights are just too boring? Well, good news, bitch ass. Today I'm explaining iSpots. We don't got your Oceanmans or Terrors or Mayhems. We got a fucking icebreaker. And you know what else we got? 2 pits. Not the ones, we got 2. And all my music is copyrighted, so you can bring in music requests and I'd play them for the fights. It's just common sense.
Hey Brochacho, tired of boring old robot combat? Feeling like a loser where you have nothing to do in life? Well boy, I got a solution. Introducing the once canceled, twice removed on your mother's side,
Split.
on your
No,
father's
but yeah,
side,
split.
tap
On
the
your
Spanish
mother's
man.
Chicken CSR 2013. I mean 2024.
Well, anyways, I ran out of content, so just vote for one of these ducks. Who do you think's gonna win? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. If you chose George Washington Duck, congratulations, you won.
It's wet out here.
Well, we're back from that quick commercial break. Hopefully you learned something from those commercials. I don't know. I mean, Chicken probably had a really funny one. I'm gonna assume he had a really funny one. But anyway, let's keep going on here. The quarterfinals. We got them. We got them. Yeah, we do. I'm kind of struggling here. Okay, so we've got some great matchups here. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I'm just going to leave this in because I'm too lazy to replace it. Atomic Green managing to take down Zinger in the last round, doing pretty effective stuff with that flipper, flipping over them and landing them in the pit. And, of course, they did have that good victory over Eldaminador before. But this is the reigning champion, so I guess it makes sense they're having such a good tournament so far. But this robot that they're fighting is someone who they have beaten before in Behemoth. Behemoth, though, they've definitely added a lot of power to their name and improved their image because, I mean, we were very doubtful on how they were going to perform in this tournament because they had two very, their first few wins were pretty easy. But beating Buckeye is a major accomplishment for them and showing that this robot definitely still has a lot of gas in the tank and it's going to be hard for them. They're going to be a hard out here. We'll have to see who can take this victory, though, because Atomic Green, like we said, they beat them before. We'll see if they can do it again here for a spot in the Final Four. We'll see who can pull off a victory here. And already Behemoth actually getting underneath and getting a good attack there onto Atomic Green. And Atomic Green, we've seen the strategy being pretty cautious, but still being very effective in getting an attack that they need to, and that's what they're doing right now. Good attack there, but Behemoth quick on their toes and getting right back in and getting some good effective pushes. And there they are again, getting another good attack in there. But Behemoth, it seems like the ground game is pretty even between these two, which is not what you'd expect from a plastic scoop against a paper scoop. But so far, I think definitely the advantage. And is Behemoth having drive issues? They seem fine. But now Atomic Green once again flipping themselves. It happened in the last match too, but seems like they're okay. We'll see if they can get back on their toes a little bit. Pretty even so far, but Atomic Green definitely seems to be doing a pretty good job at getting a bit more of the controlling moments compared to Behemoth, but anything could change in an instant, though. You never know what can happen here, but here's a good attack here from Behemoth, flipping up and getting Atomic Green up on that shelf. A great flurry here for Behemoth, and keeping them up on the shelf. They're trying to get them high set at a point, but Atomic Green quick to get off of that shelf. But that was a big moment there from Behemoth, and close to the pit. You gotta watch out, though, guys. Not how we want to end this match. Please don't. I don't want anyone hit eliminations like that. They stuck. But Behemoth getting pushed back, and ooh, very close to that pit there. Atomic Green almost able to end the match here, but Behemoth stays alive, and now they're doing some weird things. I don't know what the heck is going on now. They're just lifting up weird ways. Yeah, it's an unstick. Well, that was fun. Sometimes robots like to do that. But anyway, back into these match here, and Behemoth once again getting back behind and doing some good little flips. No total flips since that first one near the shelf. But Atomic Green has definitely been spooked here for sure. But here's another good attack here, getting Behemoth once again near the pit. Can Atomic Green end this match? And they are not able to. But Atomic Green has done a lot of close calls to get Behemoth in there, but not able to do it. But now Behemoth, a good attempted push there, but not able to do it. Who is going to get another opening here? But Behemoth has a good push here. Push near the pit. Atomic Green is over the sides, and Atomic Green is in the pit. Behemoth is going to advance and taking down the reigning champion. Behemoth, after so many poor performances in the past, back to life, just like Robot Wars Season 10, and they are a semi-finalist, taking down Atomic Green. What a performance for this robot, winning the northwest? I don't remember what region it is, but either way, they won the region. What a close fight between these two. They both had their moments. Atomic Green, so many close calls, almost getting Behemoth in there. But Behemoth managed to escape, and once they got their own moment, they did not let Atomic Green escape, and they have knocked out the Season 7 champion the two-time champion showing they are still a threat, and they have proven themselves. This robot not skipped a beat at this point. The old vet getting some vengeance after losing to them in Season 7. Absolute congratulations to Behemoth here, moving on to the semifinals. Wow, that was a great start here, but now we go on to the fight right below them. See who will take on Behemoth. Seizure starting off. They had a bit of a close fight, actually, with Jab, but they managed to just get the moment they needed and get the push they needed. But Jab spooked them, and Jab kind of showed some weaknesses with this design of just the ground game. But other than that, I mean, they beat Shredder, they beat Electric Boogaloo, not the toughest opponents for them. But this is definitely going to be a pretty tough matchup for them. But also a tough matchup for Sad Octopus. Sad Octopus, they showed domination in the first two matches. Against Buzzkill, a little bit closer, but they did manage to get the flip they needed. But they did show that they might have some issues with these bigger spinner designs, even though they did beat Topbot, so it might be a coin flip on how they do here. This should be a very fun one. We'll see who can get a spot in these semifinals and take the W in this region. This is going to be a very, very fun one here. Who is going to advance and take on Behemoth for a spot in the championship? And we're off. Which spinner of these is going to get the better engagement? And already a good start here for Salakwas, but already they exposed their back a little bit, and that opportunity was taken by Seeger to do some damage. Already some pretty good engagement between both of them here. It's going to a lot to come down to reliability, come down to drive. This is a great matchup to see which of these robots is built to take on the best of the best. And right now, some good attacks here from Sad Octopus, pushing Seizure back in the corner. And ooh, a big shot there! Getting some good bite on that weapon, and Sad Octopus has an advantage so far in doing what they need to do. But that was just some big shots there on the back. We'll have to see how those back wheels can hold up. But uh-oh. Is that spinner? Sad Octopus down. That spinner of Sad Octopus has lost its belt. So now Seizure has done some critical damage to Sad Octopus. No weapon working anymore, and that leaves Seizure free to just go relentless with their hits. And now Sad Octopus definitely reeling after that good flurry, but we'll have to see if they can get in. They still have somewhat of a wedge, so they can get some good engagement and possibly push Seizure out into the pit. Then they will take that spot in the next round, but Seizure, very controlled, very well driven, very slow, very cautious, and they're definitely doing quite well right here after a good start from Sad Octopus. We'll have to see what Sad Octopus can do now to get back, but that was a big shot on the backside. They have exposed wheels at the back, well, exposed-ish on the sides. I don't know what I'm saying. You can hit the wheels from the back of Sad Octopus is what I'm trying to say. But another big shot there. It seems like Sad Octopus is really trying to change up their strategy to do anything to possibly try to stop. Ooh, but there's a good shot there that actually did deflect back Seizure quite a bit, but Seizure still relentless in keeping up with those shots. But uh-oh, near the pit, they gotta watch out here because Sad Octopus is still a threat. But oh, there's another big shot there from Seizure, and uh-oh, that back wheel of Sad Octopus is about to fall off. So a lot of issues, a lot of trouble here right now. Can Sad Octopus do anything? But they can't.
It's made a clear point.
Well, it was tough, it was tedious there for a little bit. But Seizure showing their improved reliability, nothing stopping on that machine, and Sad Octopus, unfortunately, eventually, they've been eliminated. Insane run for them, though. Absolutely great run for this Duckbots machine, but unfortunately, it finally came to an end there. But once they lost that spinner, they just could not do enough. If they kept that spinner, I think they definitely could have a good chance of winning this fight. And they stuck in it for as long as they could, but eventually, the hit was coming, and it came. And just like that, Seizure, so bad for years, and now they've got a spot in the semifinals with this new design, taking on Behemoth for that spot. And just like that, two robots have clinched their spots in the semifinals, but now we move on to quite the fun battle. Ocean Man and Business Tombstone. Ocean Man, they definitely showed that they have not really struggled much in this tournament. I mean, they pretty much took care of Aquatic Disaster pretty quickly, and then maybe not really even a bit of trouble, more just it took them a while to take down Krusty Krab. But they're still here. They're still Ocean Man. They're still the 1 seed. We know everything about this robot, basically. But Business Tombstone, they have probably been one of the most dominant robots we've seen in this tournament so far. Just complete devastation of all of the opponents that they have fought. taking down the mall and really doing so much damage to them. That Ripper fight is going to go down as one of the most destructive matches that we have seen. And Business Tombstone, they're going to put up a great fight here, I think, against Ocean Man. This is going to be a great, fun matchup. But this is definitely the toughest matchup that they have had so far. So who is going to be able to move on and grab a spot? The funny Business Tombstone or the effective and resilient veteran in Ocean Man? Already both robots very fast. It's going to be tough to keep up with all the hits in here because it's just such a fast-paced matchup between two great robots. But so far, both robots kind of having a bit of smaller engagements here. I don't think we're going to see too many of the massive shots that we've seen from these robots in the last few matches, because they're not really built to do that. But those are some good little taps there from Business Tombstone. But now Ocean Man replying with their own. It's definitely going to be close here, but here's some good engagements here. Ocean Man is kind of trying to batter Business Tombstone near the pit, but not able to get them in. We'll see how they want to play this match, but there's another good shot here. Seems like both robots landing a lot of back and forth exchanges, neither one having true advantage over the other, but now it seems like, uh-oh, Ocean Man stuck in these screws. He might have been spinning the wrong way, but that opened up an opportunity to get Business Tombstone to the backside and land some more big shots. It seems like they're kind of going for like a circling strategy of just spinning and spinning and spinning, and eventually hoping that one of those shots can do some good, effective damage to Ocean Man. Interesting strategy. We'll have to see how that plays out for them. But so far, neither robot really has a big advantage over the other. Like, if this keeps up for the full 3 minutes, I don't know who's going to win this one. Really fun matchup so far between these two. Business Tombstone, though, definitely doing quite well here, giving the most pressure to Ocean Man than anyone else. But uh-oh, close near the pit there, but managing to just get away. We'll see if Business Tombstone can get some more good openings here, but Ocean Man getting some very nice pushes in here. Oh no, Business Tombstone accidentally goes over to the side, and this is probably going to be it. Oh no, a bit too close to the pit, and I think this is the end of Business Tombstone, and it is. What a sad ending, but I mean, if you're Ocean Man, you're just going to take that. That was dead even between these two. I think even though, of course, the loser was Business Tombstone, they proved that they definitely have the caliber of one of the top bots in the field here. Very unfortunate. That was a very fun matchup that I think we were leading up to, but eventually it just ended a bit prematurely there. But great performance for both of these robots here. Ocean Man landing a few good shots in there, but so did Business Tombstone again. But I think the bit more controlling design of Ocean Man just let them be a little bit more calibrated in this match, and unfortunately, this is the end for Business Tombstone, but they've had a great run in this tournament. Sad to see them go, but for Ocean Man, they are not skipping a beat, keeping on, and they will march on into the semifinals, which seems about what you'd expect for them. The 1 seed wins the region, but definitely had a little bit of issues in the last match, but still, they are marching on. But now we go on to one where this is going to be very fun. Either way, we're getting Ocean Man Osprey or Ocean Man Snowblind in the next round. That should be insanely fun. But Snowblind, I mean, they had issues in their Mako match, but they completely got rid of any concerns when they just completely destroyed any hopes that were had for standalone. But we'll see what Osprey can do here. Osprey has a special configuration set up to deal with Snowblind. Kind of a mesh between their wedge config and their fork config. We'll see if they can manage to get the low ground and possibly pull off a massive upset here, but it's definitely not going to be easy because we have seen a very dominant Snowblind as of recent, but Osprey has also proven to be very capable and had some big wins of their own. This will be a very fun one. We'll see which robot can claim the final spot in the semifinals. The battle for the last spot in the tournament begins. We're looking at that new config that is on Osprey. It seems like a mesh of the wedge. Yeah, the mesh of the wedge with little forks. We'll see how it does here. But so far, some good attacks there from Osprey and trying to get some good engagement here. They're going to have to be very on their toes here. But now getting behind, can they get a good shot on the treads? But they cannot. But so far, pretty even. And actually, are those forks lower than the wedge of Snowblind? It seems like they might be, and they are. They are getting onto Snowblind, but not able to outpush them because of those treads. But there we go. So the ground game of Snowblind, it's not insurmountable, and it seems like it's definitely beatable, and Osprey is proving that it is. But Osprey, that's half the battle. Now they have to be able to outpush and get the good engagement to do damage and win this matchup. But so far, Behemoth, why am I saying Behemoth? Snowblind is not giving them a very easy time here, showing a lot of good control here still. And even though they're not having the low ground, that spinner is basically being rendered useless right now. Despite a lot of that good ground game that we're seeing and being able to get under, this shows another side of Snowblind that we really haven't seen too much of, is that even if it loses the ground game, it still is able to push well, which is definitely not good for Osprey right now because they cannot get going really in the right direction here to get that spinner into play, because they can get some good engagement here, then they can definitely, if they can get good engagement here, then they can definitely sway this match in their favor a little bit, but it's not going their way right now, but there's some good engagement there. If they can get around to the sides and get more big hits in, that might be what they need to sway Judge's decision. But good performance here from Snowblind, even though they're encountering something that is quite foreign to them, where they're losing the ground game. But we'll see how this plays out. In the end, these are still engagements that Osprey is getting whenever these robots collide, and if they can get that wedge off, then they are definitely in a position to win this match. But this is a good pin here from Snowblind, getting Osprey back, but Snowblind still showing pretty good control here. But Osprey, one moment here, can sway this match, and we'll see if they can get a good push here. But pushed back and pushed in. That's going to be it. Snowblind is going to advance, and in the end, another fight where they really didn't have too many issues against another really good robot. Maybe at the start they allowed a few hits in, but even though those forks were insanely low on Osprey, it didn't matter at all. Insanely impressive there for Snowblind, a side of it that we have not seen before. For Osprey, though, they've had a great run in this tournament, but unfortunately, it just finally had to end. But just like that, we have our 4 semifinalists all figured out, and just like that, it's going to be the end for Osprey. Fun robot, did great in this competition, but not enough to beat Snowblind. But now, just like that, we're down to our final 4. Behemoth, Seizure, Ocean Man, and Snowblind. All pretty much older vets of the channel, taking their claims and making their way to the final 4. But let's start with the most surprising of these robots here. That is Behemoth, taking down Buckeye, taking down Atomic Green, 2 major threats that we thought would be the end of Behemoth. Behemoth has risen to the challenge, and they have not been able to be stopped thus far. And they're showing that this is an older robot, and we have so many questions about them, but they are doing insanely well here and proving they still have so much to give. But this is a tough matchup for them in Seizure. Seizure has proven to be a very effective robot, destroying Sad Octopus's hopes in the last round, and of course overcoming Jab, showing that even the big wedge designs might not be enough to stop this robot. But we'll have to see how they can fare here, because we saw what Behemoth was able to do to Buckeye, and that is of course a similar design with these overhead angled bite force spinners. But let's get down to the arena and see who is going to take the first spot in the championship of Robot Madness. Will it be Seizure or will it be Behemoth? Both robots getting out, and Behemoth quick to try to pressure and get some good engagement here onto Seizure, and definitely doing so thus far. But Seizure, we'll see how stable they can be here, but still 1 flip is all that is needed for Behemoth, and we have seen Behemoth get a few flips in this competition, but definitely not the strongest weaponry. But still, if they can keep up a good push here, and stuck is Seizure, but I think Behemoth is going to free them. Yeah, in the end, it was quite early, so not shocking that they want to keep this match going, although that likely would have cemented their spot. And maybe that decision started to bite the back. They had a bit of drive issues for a second there, but seems like they're back. But we have seen, so Behemoth can do what they need to get the win here, if they can get them stuck on the wall, or get them in that pit, because that pit is open, and some good pushing attacks here from Behemoth. And they're doing quite solidly here, just getting in a lot of good engagement, which I think is what they need. They need to be able to just keep up the pressure, because I don't think Seizure is going to break super easily, but if they can keep up this good pressure, then they definitely have a good chance with this nice little half flip. Pretty even so far, not a whole lot of damage being on the side of Behemoth. Now backing in a little bit, trying to get some good rear shots in onto this machine of Seizure. Seizure trying to get some more good engagement on the side. There's a big shot there. That's what they were looking for. And there's another one right there. Seems like Behemoth started to let down his guard a little bit. Knew some big shots that they are taking now, but it seems like they might be having a little bit of issues now in this back corner. And it looks like they're throwing themselves out, but these are some big shots that they're taking, and the drive on Behemoth seems to be struggling after some big hits here from Seizure. That drive is locked up on one side, And if Behemoth can't get corrected here, this is going to probably be the end for them after such a good run. But uh-oh, Behemoth has stopped, and Behemoth is no longer moving. It looks like another big shot there, taking off the back little self-right helper on Behemoth. But this is going to be the end for them. Seizure is going to clinch a spot in the championship. What a impressive performance there for both these robots, quite. But in the end, Behemoth's reliability issues and questions about durability finally caught up to them. And it was after such an insane run, really nothing you can give to them but the best. Insane performance for them in this tournament. But Seizure, they are quite the force, and they're proving that this is undoubtedly one of the best spinners in the competition, and they really did take it to Behemoth here. What an insane fight between these two, but in the end, just not in Behemoth's cards, and Seizure going to be moving on. This is such an insane 180-degree swing for this robot, and just like that, this old veteran is going to be moving on to the finals in definitely its best form ever. But now, we go on to what is definitely going to be a great match. What is either the third or fourth matchup between Ocean Man and Snowblind. So this will be a very fun one. Ocean Man, of course, they've beaten Snowblind several times. I think they've won the last two meetings with them, but they did lose that first one. But of course, that was a very different Ocean Man back then. We'll see if they can keep up their winning streak against them here. But it's going to be very tough with how the driving has been of Snowblind this tournament. Probably the best that we've seen them drive in the while, especially their last two matchups. But we'll have to see how this goes for them. Snowblind, I mean, they've been great recently. Of course, they did have that little hiccup with Mako, but when you completely dominate your two previous matchups in Standalone and Osprey, those can be pretty easily forgiven, and this robot is still the threat that it always was. I'd argue maybe even a bigger threat than it ever has been before. Can Snowblind get some revenge after their last two losses and losing to the Season 6 championship to Ocean Man? Or will Ocean Man pick up their third straight win? This should be a great matchup, and we are underway in the semifinals here. The second matchup for the right to take on Seizure. Some good side attacks there from Ocean Man early on. That speed is definitely going to have to be a factor here if they want to get around and do some damage to the side of Snowblind. But Snowblind keeping that wedge in front and doing some pretty good attacks here onto Ocean Man. Ocean Man being pushed back and some good attacks here once again. Can Snowblind keep up this good attack on Ocean Man, getting some good pins. Definitely playing the long game here if they want to win this by a judge's decision. Maybe they'll look and see if they can get a good hitting here, who knows. Good attacks here once again. Ocean Man trying to get around and get to the side, but that's a good maneuver there, and they managed to get to the side, but no power in that spinner to punt them. But it seems like they might have a strategy to try to do a circling shark-style driving strategy, but not working good here. That might be a one-time thing for them right now. But so far, very good control here from Snowblind. Like we've said, this is a robot that has probably been driving at the best it ever has this tournament, and it's doing very solid here, preventing those low pontoons of Ocean Man from getting around, but that's another good circling strategy. I think that circling strategy is what Ocean Man is going to need here to try and pull off a victory. But so far, it looks like they have the low ground here and a good push back here on the Snowblind. Snowblind trying to retaliate and push back. Seems like a good moment here for Ocean Man. Very even between these two thus far, but another good push here for Snowblind onto Ocean Man. Ocean Man trying to reset, but now back near the pit. Can they get out of there? Bit close, but they do manage to escape. Close call there for Ocean Man, but they managed to get away and get some more moments in here. But so far, Snowblind dominating this little stretch right now, but uh-oh, the screws in the back are broken, and that might impede Snowblind a little bit. They had a good opportunity to get them out with those screws, but not able to do so. Very close battle, but ooh, near the pit, ooh! Turning away from the last second, there's Ocean Man preventing a pitting. Can they get away from there? But Snowblind already back waiting and close near the pit. Ocean Man under a ton of pressure right now, but they managed to get away. Snowblind doing very good stuff so far, getting another good push here onto Ocean Man, but Ocean Man circling back behind and getting a good push near the end, and they can't get them in though. Great attack though there from Ocean Man. Coming back after some good moments here from Snowblind. Snowblind once again almost getting Ocean Man in that pit, but Ocean Man trying to get around and get some good engagements here. They got a good angle on the side, but not able to do much with it. But they now have a good push there on the side of Snowblind, but Snowblind able to get away. Ocean Man coming back in and getting some more shots on the side, though, near those treads. Both robots putting everything on the table so far, but here's a good push here from Ocean Man on the side and getting the tread snagged on that broken screws. Ocean Man has a good angle here on the side, and that Snowblind angled up and pushed in the pit, and that's going to be the fight. What a matchup between these two veterans. Ocean Man, though, takes down Snowblind in an incredible fight. Both robots doing absolutely everything there to get that victory, but Snowblind not able to pull it out. So many close moments for both of them. That circling strategy of Ocean Man seemed to be effective, and it was good at getting around and beating that quick turning that we always talk about with Snowblind. So many close calls, though. So many moments where we thought Ocean Man was going to go in the pit, but they just managed to escape. And Snowblind, they did almost everything I think they could to win that, but in the end, Ocean Man, at the end of the fight, after what seemed to be a little bit of a stretch without much going for them, got the push they needed and ended Snowblind's run in this tournament. Probably one of the best fights that we have seen in the channel and in this tournament. Ocean Man moves on to the finals to take on Seizure. And just like that, we have two robots to go. Seizure and Ocean Man, both moving on and ready to take each other down in the finals. But there's so much to talk with both of these robots, let's be honest here. Both of these robots are veterans. We have seen Seizure back in 2019 when they were just a wedge, and they were one of the first robots on the channel in 2018. Not the first time they've been to a finals, though. In the 2019 250 subscribers tournament, they made to the finals but lost to Blindside. And they've also had some very good performances in the Ultimate Throwdown, but the most recent performance for them was that Season 7 poor showing, so we'll have to see how they can stick it to here. But for Ocean Man, another vet where they've just had so much promise and so much domination in the past. This is nothing too new for them, and we've seen this design and the power that it has. Season 5 onward really has been the golden era for this machine. But this tournament, both these robots have kept it going and kicked it up a notch, especially for Seizure, showing no mercy and having quite the dominant performance to get to the stage they are now, undoing so much history of just poor showings and pretty much just bad performances. Maybe they can get the victory here and prove themselves to be one of the best bots on this channel. But really, this is the fight for the best bot on this channel, really. But for Ocean Man, I mean, this would really just cement their legacy, and they already quite did that, I feel, with that victory over Snowblind. But this is the matchup that's going to decide it all. Seizure against Ocean Man. Who is going to be able to move on and claim the title in the final big tournament of Chaotic Robotics? Seizure, the overhead spinner, and Ocean Man, the water-themed massive tower vert. We'll see how this one goes. I'm not going to give any thoughts on how I think this is going to go. We've seen these robots these robots have never fought before on the channel, but this is the fight to win it all. Let's go down to the box. And the match is underway in the championship, and Ocean Man going out quickly and meeting Seizure in the blue square, but Seizure already back up, and some good engagements here from both of these machines. Big engagements here so far. Big shots on Ocean Man, knocking back Seizure, using those wedges very effectively. We'll see how Seizure plans to counter this, but still, some good shots, and now Ocean Man back near the back little shelf, but some more good deflections in favor of Ocean Man thus far. Seizure, though, not backing down and getting some more good shots, and that was a good deflection of Ocean Man away, and another one right there. Pretty back and forth so far, but some good moments here for Ocean Man, and another pushing back Seizure, and Seizure definitely on the ropes a little bit here early, but they're definitely still in this match and still very capable. Some more big shots there, both exchanging hits that deflect the others away, but both keeping up this relentless assault. Ocean Man keeping that spinner going and letting some more big effective shots here on to Seizure, but Seizure still staying unfazed, looking the same as it did since the match started. No major damage between both of these, but a lot of deflections. But so far, a very promising start here if you are an Ocean Man fan, deflecting away a lot of those hits and kind of using itself like a battering ram and just throwing back Seizure. Seizure trying to get some more openings, but now they're getting a little bit close to that pit, but wasn't able to back away. Ocean Man, though, getting some more good engagements here. Back in the pit, and they're in! Ocean Man wins the Robot Madness Championship, and that is going to be it. Ocean Man, the champions of this final tournament. What a dominant victory. And that is going to end this tournament. What an insane fight there. Both robots getting a lot of really big engagements, but Ocean Man just so stable, so controlled, just got the deflections that they needed, and Seizure just could not mount some effective attacks that swayed away from what this matchup was of a pretty general phase of just Ocean Man control and domination. But that is it. This is the last fight of the main big tournaments that we're doing. Thank you guys. Thanks to every one of you. Thanks to Filming Buddy. Thanks to all the fans. Thanks to everyone in the servers. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting this for a long time. And this is going to be likely the end of a road for a little bit. Thanks everyone for all these fun times. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.